In this training, I will be walking you through the new legacy screen in the Voyant US software. To navigate to the screen, you're going to go to Overview and select the legacy option from the drop-down. In here, you're going to see a newly refreshed version of our legacy section. This version of the legacy screen is to give you a much simpler view of how your client's estate breaks down at the end of their plan. You're going to see several cards appear at the top of your screen. We're going to go through them here in a moment, but before we do, I wanted to show you how this new view breaks down. Right now we have the collapsed view, which shows you a high-level view of your client's estate. We're going to start with their total wealth pre-tax at the end of the plan. And this is after both clients have passed and their estate is passing to their heirs. So we have the total wealth in the plan pre-tax. This is their assets, and if they had any liabilities, these would be listed here. This is the total estimated estate tax bill, both the federal and if there are any state estate taxes, they're going to be listed here as well. You're going to have the total wealth transfer number post-tax. Here we have pre-tax and then the estate tax bill and then what that value is after tax. Then we also have the total wealth transfer that's going to be going to their heirs and then how that breaks down to the various beneficiaries is going to be listed here. Now, if you would like, you can uncollapse this view and show details. And then this will give you a deeper look at the details that underlies all of these various numbers. So you can see all of the assets that make up this total wealth. You can see the details of the estate tax, and you can see where the money is going after the wealth transfer. And then over here, you can see the lifetime gifting, and if there is any charitable giving that is occurring, you would see the details of that here. Now scrolling down, we can see the flow chart of how money is passing at James's mortality. You can see the estate pre-tax, the money passing to his spouse Monica, any money that is passing outside of the estate, and then the outside estate distribution to Monica. At Monica's legacy, we can see the estate pre-tax, any estate taxes, both federal and state, and then we can see the distributions to her beneficiaries at her mortality. You can also hide the details again and go back to your collapsed view. There's also options to do other legacy scenarios. So you could do if James were to die today and run a scenario that is different than their planned legacy. You can do that for Monica, and you can also do a catastrophic scenario where both were to die today. And then going back to our other cards up here at the top, you can see a breakdown of the beneficiaries. So you can see how money is passing to their heir Ben. You can see where that money is coming from, as well as from Maggie. And then you can see the person outside the plan, how that's scheduled as a direct gift from Monica's estate. And then we can go over here to trusts and corporations and see if there are any in this plan. We can go to a detailed view of the taxes, and a lot of these are collapsible, and you can see more information on those as well as any state taxes. And then you can also go back here and compare different scenarios if you've got what if plans built in. So you can see how different versions compare against each other. So if you're trying to determine what versions of the plan would have a better estate outcome for your clients, you can look at them side by side. So in this example, we have a much lower estate tax bill with this version of the plan. We can also compare and contrast different ones against each other, not just our base plan. So we can look at those side by side and see which ones we would like to recommend to our clients. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions or you'd like to walk through this with one of our support team members, you can always click the name of your client in the top right corner, request support, and share client access. Thanks for listening.